Hello everyone, welcome to Dulcie's Creations and to our next project. Thank you so much for being here with me. Please enjoy the project. Remember to like, subscribe and share. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this project. I will chat to you all very soon.
So this video is going to be in several parts. I'm actually crafting indoors today because it's just before work and I'm really cold. Anyway, so yesterday, as you would have seen, I cut the egg and then I did wash it. Still a little bit of membrane left in there, but it's all washed and cleaned out. And there's a tiny little crack on the side. Let's see if I can find it for you. Somewhere here, I can't see it now. Was here. I felt it as I was washing. Anyway, this morning what I've done is, oh, there it is, just there. I think you can see that quite clearly. There you go. But because I'm going to paint it and I'm going to put some structure gel on it, this is what I've got. I'm not too worried about it. It won't be seen. If it was a different type of project where it's going to be smooth paint and that, then I would have had to cut another egg. But for what I'm doing, it's fine. I have put a little bit of gel on the inside just so that it keeps it together. But yes, so what I want to do is, without revealing too much of the project, I want to just put on some, oh, what would you call it? I'm going to use a stencil. This is a stencil I'm using. I wanted to have some, what is the correct word? Fails me now. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so I just want some lines. Not sure if this is going to work. To be honest, I've never ever done this with an egg. I mean, I've used stencils before on my acrylic paint, so I'm not sure if this is going to work because it doesn't really bend that nicely. Sorry, I'm off camera. But let's just see if I can get some of this on there to give it some... Oh, what is the word? It will come to me at the strangest of times, and I'll be shouting at myself. I think it's probably just going to be too much on the top there. Can you see that? It will be far too much. I think maybe the alternative will be to just smooth it out, put quite a thick layer on, and then just come in with a toothpick or a needle or something and make the lines. Basically, I wanted to have definition. It's not the word I'm looking for, but I wanted to have some definition. I don't want it smooth. So it's going to almost look like, well, I want it to look like it's a sort of a rock face or stone, or yeah, I probably should use clay, but I'm not too sure how the clay will fare on an egg. So I want to try this modeling paste. It's thicker than the one I usually use on most of my crafting with stencils, so that's why I thought it would work. So it can be a bit lumpy because, like I say, I want it to sort of look like a rock face, the entry to a cave, something like that. I think you guys are getting the idea of what I'm trying to say. So as you can see, there's some lumps. It's not too smooth, just what I want. Now on the edges there, I'm thinking I will create, oh wait, this might actually work, because I was thinking I would create some, I do have modeling paste or clay, and create little circles and then put it on there to create a sort of, sorry, too close, sort of a rocks, you know, words are failing me today, and there are some days when I just should keep quiet. I think there's quite a bit of definition on this. As you can see, it's definitely not smooth, and that's the idea. I don't want it to be smooth, so that when I put the paint on, sorry, I keep moving away from the camera, so that when I put the paint on, you can see all these little bumps and lumps, and it's not meant to be a smooth project as my other egg projects have been. And this project, as you will see further on in the video, is different elements. There will be a resin element. I'm going to use some stones from my garden or pebbles. I'm going to use some crushed glass, and I think I'm going to leave this egg alone. I think it's got enough definition on it. So now I'm doing the second part of the egg. As you can see, it has obviously dried, and this is how the outside is looking. Now, as I've started to put on the paint, I've painted the inside brown. Will all come together soon enough without without revealing too much of what it is that I'm doing, but it has to be brown. And I've started painting the sides of it, so you can see all that, the lumps and that I wanted when I put on the gel. So that has really turned out well. I wasn't too sure how it was going to turn out because I'd never done this type of thing. So that is just brilliant. It's exactly what I wanted. Now I might have to let the front of it dry, otherwise I can't hold it. And I actually have two little stands that I created to hold the eggs while I'm painting, but because this one is actually not cut fully, what I have I can't use, so I'm going to have to let it dry and then carry on with it. And then again, I also didn't want to let the paint fully dry because I want to put sort of green into it, and if I let it fully dry, oh well, we'll have to see. I really like how it's turning out. Say this one is going to be part of a project I'm currently doing, and it is definitely multimedia. A lot of stuff is involved. So I've got my laser machine on already. The temperature is brilliant. It is always chilly in the conservatory, so that's at 14.8, and my laptop is ready. Now I want to cut those different circles, but if I leave them that way, it will cut one board with that. So what I've done already is I've cut the outer one. There's the big one already. That one's ready. Now I want to do the middle one. So what I'm going to do is, with my mouse, as you can see just there, I'm going to highlight that outer line, and my default color is 29, where the machine where it doesn't have a command linked to it. No, not 28, 29. Yep, and then that one also. So nothing will happen with that. In the corner there, you will see that if I double click on that one, you get that, and both the output and the error resistor off, so nothing will happen with that. Alright, let's put another sheet of wood in there. And I just want to make sure that everything's in place. I know it will be because it's a large piece of wood. So I'm just basically checking where the laser is going to land. Yeah, it's all within its parameters. Okay, let's close the lid. Put the lights on. And we'll press start. So moving on to the next part of this project, I cut, as you would have seen on the video before, 3 of these. I've painted them in black, but I've also decided I'm not going to use the big one. It will just be too big for the project I'm doing. So I'm keeping this one for when I do the bigger version. Now just below, I've got loads of these little circles. I glued them one on top of each other, 4 of them, put them underneath. This one's actually ready to work on. It shouldn't be wobbling, but I'm hoping it's because of this mat. Yeah, see, it is wobbling. Not a, oh, there you go. There it isn't. Okay, now these 4 I've only just glued on. So I'm going to put them aside so that they can get a chance to dry. That will of course go on top. But on top of this, I am going to put some fake moss, or some moss, dried moss. And it smells dried. Not quite sure what to call the smell. It's almost like when you've got mold. Almost like mold. That's the smell, the word I'm looking for. So I want to put don't really need to be doing it on that, do I? I want to put some on the edges so that it looks like grass. And then I have gravel stones, because that's where I park my car, on quite a bit of gravel stones, and I'd ordered some stones, but they turned out by being far too small. So I thought, well, I'm going to go and get some of the gravel stones where the car sits on and pick the smallest of them. In the meantime, I had ordered some more online, and I was just thought, oh well, if they're still too small, then I've picked some gravel stones. So these are the ones I've picked from under my car. They are washed. I did wash them all. And then I received some riverstone, as they call it. And these are just perfect. They really are. I might still use a few of the ones that from where the car is, because they are very pretty. I mean, look at that. I love that. I think that's gorgeous. So I might still use some of those, but I'm going to mainly use these. So we can cut into this. Go. Oh, they're very pretty. All these lovely colors. Okay. So let's do this. It's a real mess, isn't it?
Alright, so no point in really drying that because cleaning that, it's just going to get all over the place. Well, this is some of my glue. I'm going to put it all the way around. Now we've got to remember we don't need to go all the way in because of course this is going to sit on top. So, you know, it doesn't need to go all the way to the middle. Now, just going to spread this glue. Do however think I might need some epoxy glue for the rocks because I don't want them falling off. Let's get some of this moss on. I have been thinking that I might post this project on YouTube in 2 parts, but of course the first part will just be called Mystery Project Part 1 because I don't want to reveal what it is right to the end. Well, not really to the end. When I start casting the resin part, I think you will all have a good idea of what it is that I will be doing. No, it's not supposed to look too neat, but I'm thinking I might have to put some glue on the moss so it actually stays down, because otherwise it's just going to be very empty. I might just turn into the green man or have green fingers. Terrible jokes. Terrible jokes. So it's dry, or almost, on the inside too. Just little bits to touch it up. It is slowly coming together. So this is pretty dry, and I've shaken it and only one little stone fell out. So that's not bad going. I'm actually quite impressed. And of course you've got all these little spider things from the glue, but now I'm wondering if I shouldn't just leave it. Looks like spiders have been around. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. Put that little rock back in its place. Stone, it's not a rock. Hopefully it will stay there. And now we want the little one. I swear I had just seen the little one. Okay. So, I'm gonna put some glue on this. Put something heavy just to press it down for now. Oh, I think it will be okay. It's looking pretty neat. What do you all think? Okay, so just put that to the side, and now that egg we did, I did have a plastic that was covering this yesterday. It's already so grotty. I was hoping to stop it from getting worse. I really need to take it out and do a deep clean on it. But it goes all the way to the edges of the table and there's so much around it. Okay, we'll just do this. So now the egg is nice and dry. And I just want to put little bits of green. Not too much. It needs a bit more shaking. These wet wipes. I usually leave them on the side after I've used them, and of course they get dry, and they are perfect to just do what I need to do here, because I don't want too much of that green. Now of course this is an egg, so I can't hold it too tight, either rub too much or too hard, because it could crack. I like the effects of that. What do you all think? Okay, now because that is obviously not wet, because I've just spread it as it is. See how beautiful that is. I am actually going to fill up the inside. So the more I do on this, the more the ideas come. So I've got, this is crushed glass. Somewhere here there's English. Not food, do not eat, keep away from children. Yeah, it's crushed glass. I got it from the range. As you can see, it's all in white. I couldn't get anything colored. Now what I'm thinking is I do want a little bit of color. So I'm going to put a few down. Not that much. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do this, but I want some in lilac or purple. And this is extreme sheen, so it should give it a beautiful color to it. So as you can see, there's never been, well, I have an idea of what I want to do, but it just keeps evolving. I should also put on my paint shirt before I get another top filthy. It's not so much filthy as it is full of paint. I have several good tops that are full of paint, and I need to really just put on this shirt. That's why I originally bought it, so that I can have it on when I'm messing around with paints. We want to try and dry them. Guys, here's a thought. I know that most of the time if I'm watching some YouTube tutorials or ideas for things to do or what I'd like to try, sometimes obviously not a lot of people talk, which I find a little bit disappointing sometimes, especially if they're showing you how to do things, but of course not everybody can talk and can speak in English, so I guess that's also why there's subtitles and that. But the aim of this point or this conversation is the music. The music. What do you think of the music on some of these channels?
But most importantly, because obviously as I don't talk, I put some music in the quiet parts, and let me know what you think. Are you alright with it? Does it annoy you? Is it horrible? Would you prefer the silence? Please do let me know, because of all the choices I could find, some were just far too loud as far as I'm concerned for crafting, like rock. No offense to the rockers out there, but it does that. I can't listen to rock music. It just does something to me. So I just wondered what you guys thought of the music I put. Please do let me know in the comments. Maybe I can change it, or hey, maybe just leave the silence. But yeah, it would be nice to know what you guys think. Okay, so I've put them all on a towel I've got here. This is generally where I do all my embossing, and where my glue gun sits when it's on. Just protects the table. Nothing warps when you've got the heat gun on, or this heat thing on. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty dry. Not much on my fingers. Great. Good job. Now, let's pull this out. I think you remember my using this previously with my eggs, but it does protect the egg when you're working on it, and I really don't want anything happening to this egg at this point. Okay, now, what am I going to use? I think the Yoo-hoo is probably the best bet. Loads of glue in there. And now when I say loads, I don't know if you can't see in there. Yeah, you can actually see that. So now I'm just going to spread some of it. And yeah, basically willy-nilly. There's no rhyme as to where it has to be. As long as there's quite a bit on the top. Okay. Okay, now I want just put some right there. And we're going to put some in there. Oh, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Let's put that away for now. Leave it for now. I can always just fill up the gaps later. So there you go. And if I put this light on, if that will help. There you go. Now we are definitely going to put this aside. Just leave it there so it can dry, do its own thing out of the way without getting broken. What I need to do is we need to do the top part. Wasn't so bright. I guess it's not quite stuck yet. Anyway, can work on the top part. What I'm not sure of is whether I want the egg to just sit on there, will be sitting like that. Or if I'm going to put the egg on a stand and then just decorate around the stand. It's a good enough base on the egg. So a good enough base around the egg. I don't know if you can see that, if that helps or hinders. For it to stand. And then again, maybe if it were a little bit higher.
I really had hoped I was going to put this in one part, but as I had said earlier on, it probably was going to be a two-part video. But what I will do is I will post the next part on Tuesday or Wednesday instead of Saturday, so you don't have long to wait. Once again, thank you so much for being here with me, and I look forward to catching up to you on the second part.